Now then, we are back for some more F1 My Team. Again, apologies, my voice is not 100%, but I'm going to try and push through and get through it. Now, in the background, you're watching me take care of upgrades, activities, and updates, because we didn't do these at the end of the last episode, because the episode was so damn stacked. It went to 40 minutes, so if you haven't seen it, check it out, link in the top right. The response has been bonkers on that one, so a massive shout out to you guys for supporting the series. Now, with that said, here we are for another race weekend, and we first of all have to renew sponsorships, which we'll go ahead and do. I've got no plans to change them now, but I might in the next window once our car is definitely more competitive. We also had the crankshaft upgrade for the engine power arrive, and then it was followed by a marketing department event, which basically made us choose our new rival. And because now we are a bit more competitive, we're going to choose George Russell in the Haas, and we're going to try and see if we can beat him over the next few races. With that said, we jump into the race weekend and practice, and we're just going to kind of skim through it here as we had a decent session, scored a decent chunk of points, and yeah, we're now going to see if we can have a decent qualifying. Now, what I do want to talk about is this weekend, this race, this episode. We're going to do it on 110% AI the entire way through, so hopefully you're looking forward to that, and fingers crossed, if the game stays consistent, the trend should remain that way in future episodes. Now then, weather forecast this weekend is dry. Upgrade wise, you can see quite a lot of upgrades for many teams. Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari all bring upgrades. AlphaTauri as well, and we bring a small one, but it's nothing major. Williams are the only team, along with Haas, to not bring upgrades to this race. We do have a major one on the way for the aero, and that should arrive for the next race after this one basically, so that will help us keep pushing forward. But yeah, what I wasn't able to do between the last race and this one was buy more upgrades. We didn't have enough points to really buy them. They're quite expensive now, so we're going to have to kind of stagger those out over the races. Either way, let's get into the action then as we jump into qualifying here at Q1, and this of course is our home race, so I'm looking to try and have a decent weekend now that we've put the patch and AI difficulty issues behind us. Our first lap though isn't ideal as we pick up an invalidation for running wide at Cops. I had just about enough fuel, you can see in the bottom right, 1.3 laps of fuel, and I just basically coasted through the end of the lap, and I'm going to go for a second push with the little fuel I have left, and we're going to try and go again. And as you can see, we're now making our way through the S section. So far, no invalidations, everything looks fine, and here we are then making our way onto the hangar straight as we open the DRS in Sector 3. You can see our gearbox has a bit of wear, which could be an issue this weekend, but for now we're going to push through as we go through Stowe. Try to carry that speed as we get very close to track limits, and now hard on the brakes at the white line down to 4th for the Valley chicane, making our way left, right, and then into the final corner up to the line, and it's going to be a 126.7 and only P17, which was a bit of a surprise. You can see eventually once everybody set their laps, Paul Chair was ahead of us by about a tenth and a half, and we were about half a second off P16, so it's not looking great. It's looking like maybe this track isn't ideal for us for one lap pace. Either way, we're going to go for one more attempt with a minute and 40 to go, and we're going to commit and see what happens. I've gone a bit higher on the front wing to have a bit more front downforce, so let's see if it works out as we straight away find time at the start of the lap, flat out through 1 and 2 as we make our way down to turn 3, braking just before the 50 down to 4th gear. Be patient through here on the throttle and also on the brake, rotating the car as we try to get the traction out through turn 5, DRS open, and we're up in the first sector by half a tenth. Spot the braking at Brooklands at the 50, turn in, get a late apex as you then try to stay nice and tight through Luffield while maintaining a decent minimum corner speed. Try to get the exit as you get the traction down, keep it nice and tight through the old pit complex as we head into Cops. We're going to take a small lift just to get the nose into the corner. We judge it pretty much to perfection. And now into the S's, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. hooking up this entire sequence, staying nice and tight through the left there of Beckett, and now through Chapel onto the hanger straight. 2.5 tenths up almost, as we're looking pretty decent, and more time to find in this final sector. Into Stowe, I run a little bit wide and I try to feather the throttle, but we go for a spin and get massive rear wing damage. Now, it's unfortunate. I was basically on purpose trying to drift the car through Stowe to recover some of that understeer. So I was trying to just squeeze the throttle on a little bit to kind of get the front end to bite in and get the rear to step out a little bit on purpose, just to help get a bit of oversteer and turn the car and maintain a decent corner speed. But by doing that, I just pushed a bit too much and gave myself too much wheel spin and ended up spinning off in 6th gear. So yeah, qualifying done. Not ideal. We finish on the back row along with Paul Chair, both cars P21 and P22. So it just seems like even on 110, maybe this wasn't our best circuit, as we're a bit off the pace. Either way, only 3 tenths off our teammate, and we was on for a 2.5 tenth improvement at least. And I do think we could have found another 10th maybe in the last sector alone. So I do think we could have beaten Paul Chair, but I don't think much more would have been possible, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the race. Usually the race pace is better, so I'm looking forward to it. Either way, qualifying done. Let's turn this one around in the race.
Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone circuit for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Sergio Perez and Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Ocon and George Russell, Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Guan Yu Zhou and Stroll, Aitken, Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, Vettel, Latifi, Teo Pourchaire and Martinez. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now my voice is still not at 100%, but we're going to try and push through and get this race done. So we're starting our home race from last place, which is not really what I had in mind for this one, but it seems like Paul Chair struggled as well, and possibly our car doesn't really work that well around this circuit, as both cars underperform. Now, the only good thing about starting last is that there's nothing behind us. We can only go forward, and that is a positive. So I'm still going to try and aim for points in this race. Now then, strategy-wise, soft tyre, I think, is out of the equation due to overheating. However, we'll see how it goes. I feel like if I can get my medium tyres to about lap 16, maybe we could try and throw a cheeky soft tyre on there and see how it goes, and that might be a late race option. It entirely depends how the first stint goes. We might even pit lap 9 and get the hard tyre on and go for an undercut. It literally depends on traffic and where we are at the time. Fuel-wise, I'm going for a lap extra fuel. Yeah, we're going to get into it, and I'm hoping the race pace should be more competitive than qualifying, considering we haven't raised the difficulty. So yeah, leave a like if you're excited. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes for my home Grand Prix, and let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it then. We've got Sebastian Vettel on the soft tyre. Everybody else looks to be on the medium. Just going to try and get a last bit of rear tyre warm up and a bit of front to front scrubbing as well as we get lined up on the grid. Right, let's get into it. This should be a fun race. I think the race pace should be stronger. Perfect. Love that. 0.1. Now let's try and get a good start. Here we go. Home Grand Prix. The lights are on. Very quick 5 lights. Underway. Not a bad start, to be fair, but we're not going to use any battery. We're just going to be careful here. The AI can be a bit chaotic through one, and that's exactly what we've seen. One of the Aston Martins off.
Virtual safety cars being deployed due to an incident with multiple vehicles being stopped on the track. We need you to drop your pace.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a full safety car, I think. I'll be shocked if it stays virtual. Or maybe it might actually. Sebastian Vettel's car has already been removed. Either way, virtual safety car up to P18. Excellent start. Just, you know, we got off the line well, and then I knew I wasn't going to challenge into turn one, so I just backed off and tried to get some rolling momentum through turn one, as I know that AI will always struggle. And you can see there was the incident. So we've gone through and we made up a bunch of places, which is good. Now then, let's see if we can make up a few more.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Could have definitely pushed that VSC a bit more, a bit wide through cops as we pick up some front understeer into the S section now for the first time. We're going to catch back up to the AI here as they're all battling away. Easy does it. There we go, pressure off from behind now, we can push on. Tyre temps look okay. My gearbox does worry me, I'm not going to lie, that is going to be a possible issue this race. But that's the risk we're taking. I think it is our last race with this gearbox, so let's hope it holds on as we have Albon and Magnussen side by side here. Lots of too wide scenarios, and that means opportunities to overtake. As we head on to lap 2 then. Looks like Albon is going to get ahead of Magnussen. Let's see if we can maybe have a look into turn 3. Oh, that's a lot of understeer, my god. Track limit warning. Picking up a load of front wash through the first corner. Nope. Magnussen was always going to close the door on me there. Damn it. That puts him in the back foot now as Latifi is going to try it and look for a move if we're going to have to use our battery. And you can see we're hanging in there on the straight, which is encouraging. Meanwhile, Magnussen going back up the inside of Albon into Brooklands, and now he's on the outside for Luffield. Looks like the DRS train is breaking up. You can see there's a gap ahead. A battle for, I'd say, about P6, P7, P8. Either way, it's not over yet. Magnussen and Albon side by side into Cops. We're going to have a run here out of that corner. Let's see if I can maybe go into Stowe and get ahead. Latifi there briefly looking for the move. Someone's got damage here because the AI are wasting too much time in combat. Here we go though. Got the run and I've got the straight line speed. We're going to carve through and get past Albon and Magnussen. Easy does it. As we head through Stowe. Excellent exit. Going to get the inside line on Stroll. I do not want to take out the Haas. Steady, steady. I think we're 3 wide here. Either way, we've got through. P15.
Okay, DRS will be enabled for this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Right, so don't even ask me what happened there. But somehow we've made the moves. I'm sorry the commentary isn't as exciting, but my voice is barely hanging on. Stroll behind on the soft tyre. That's going to be hard to keep behind. Let's just try and get back within DRS range of the cars ahead. We're definitely already in the mix for points in this race. Loads of 2 wide scenarios here into Stowe. I don't know who it is, but someone has got wing damage in front because it's causing trouble. I think it might be Alonso possibly. Either way, Schumacher, Aitken, Zhou as well, Alonso all battling away here. You can see Gasly and Magnussen starting to pull away. I think it's Alonso who's got damage. Onto the pit straight, we're going to get the run on Aitken here as we got the inside. Side by side, but we squeeze through. Run him out of road. We're going to get Schumacher as well. Oh, damn it. That's not ideal. Damage. Why did they do that? Zhou Guan Yu with the brake check into turn 1. Or turn 3 in this case. Right, we're going to have to get a wing change.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
Let's see if I can hang on here with the wing damage. It looks like Alonso is the other car.
Check your for a new strategy option. Copy that.
No, we're going to go for the hard tyre. I'm not going to go for the soft. We're going to try and go to the end. I can still probably recover this race if I go for the hard tyre. So let's just try and stay afloat here. It's not terrible with wing damage, but it is slow, and I think obviously I'd rather just be in clean air on the hard tyre and go faster. So we're going to just take the pain and take a pit stop. Alonso is the one that's damaged. I can clearly see it now.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Right, let's box and make sure we do not speed into the pits, unlike the last race in Canada. That's Schumacher and Alonso battle away. Box, box. Very slow pit entry here, 60 kilometers an hour, but we nail it. Hopefully the wing gets changed. It's on auto, but it should get changed. I mean, we've got orange damage. I'd be shocked if it doesn't get changed. If it doesn't, our race is going to be ruined. So hopefully the pit crew do no stupid games, just fix our front wing. Right, let's get the purple timing. It's going to be important here that we don't have a slow stop. Every 10th of a second is going to be valuable, even with a wing change. Come on, boys. Get that wing change done. Go, go, go. Lovely. 7.7. That's not too bad. Right, we're still in this race. That battle for the points is on. We're not out of it yet. So let's try and get back up to speed straight away and push on these tyres.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
It's going to be a horrible first lap on these cold tyres. It's going to be hard to get the temp in these, but hopefully from next lap we can start to really push. Right then, so the moment of truth. Let's see what kind of pace the cars ahead are doing.
That's Latifi just ahead. Push for the position. Our gap to the car in front is 32.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The car ahead has damaged the front wing, but it seems fairly minor. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 30.6.
Okay, so it's not the most relevant information. So Latifi seems to have wing damage. Either way, we're not too far off our personal best already, so the pace is okay. There we go, personal best. 29.4, that's the true pace we have. I think I can get down to 28s in a couple laps once we get a bit of fuel burn going. Oh.
Okay, watch your pace. We've been informed the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stock vehicles on the track.
Okay, that's okay, but I don't have a tyre for this. Do you know what? We're going to stay out because the pack should close up, and once everyone stops we should hopefully jump a load of cars anyway, and we're just going to have to suffer, you know, being out on these tyres. Unless we maybe get another safety car later on, we can go for the softs. For now we're going to have to suffer these hard tyres. But Aston Martin with a double DNF in their home Grand Prix, absolutely devastating. Everybody's in. Some cars are staying out, but the majority are in. Somehow Paul Chair hasn't pit. I don't understand what is going on. How are you giving me preference when I'm so far away? I wish I could choose to make Paul Chair pit. I am the team boss after all, so if I want Paul Chair to pit, let me choose that option. Anyway, we're not going to gain anything in this stop. We're too far behind. Now the Delta's gone, but we're too far to benefit from this. So we're still going to be last. The only good thing is that we're going to be back with the pack. So we'll be back in the race. I don't think we're catching up by the end of the lap. I'm going to be honest here. I'm expecting chaos. You can see my tyre wear. We've got about a 15% tyre wear deficit. Now what I'm going to do is play the long game. Now what I mean by that is the AI, the fast cars, are going to be at the back of the pack, near us. At the front of the queue, you're going to have those who haven't stopped. So essentially, when this race gets back underway, it's going to be absolute chaos as the faster cars try to get past the slower ones, which means battling, which means damage, which means opportunities. So let's be patient. I'm trying to get some tyre temp. Like I said, I'm expecting pure chaos. So let's get back into it. Alonso still hasn't pit for that wing damage. Neither has possibly Paul Chair, Latifi. All those guys haven't stopped yet. So like I said, it's going to be bonkers. And dare I say, we could actually even win this race. I wouldn't even rule it out. Anyway, back on the way. Let's get after it. Battery management is going to be key. Okay, that's interesting. So it looks like those who didn't pit are now just pitting. So we're not going to have that much chaos for that long, but still, we're going to gain a bunch of places. 5-second penalty for someone. And look at that, we're up to P11 already, just by, you know, getting back in the race. Struggling with front understeer when I get close to cars for turn 1. Meanwhile, Joe and our rival George Russell. There we go. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Battling away. We're going to try it and have a look at George here. We'll see how the pace is. I feel like my tyre wear is an issue. We'll keep chipping away though. But we can definitely get points in this race, which is a massive bonus considering what happened in qualifying. I think George might have damage possibly, I'm not sure. But considering he's on fresh tyres, he doesn't seem super quick. Because I'm holding on with these worn tyres. I'm going to wait though. We'll go for the move on the hanger straight, as it'll make a lot more sense. I've got no issues though with front wash through there, which is funny. Just only turn one for some reason. I can't seem to find the front end grip that I need to stay close. Struggling through there a bit as well, to be fair. Right, let's go for it. Bit of a moment there, but we're going to use up our battery here and try and latch onto the back of Zhou Guanyu. Closing in. Oh, it's close, side by side through Stowe. Who can break the latest? Into Val. Looks like we're going to hang around the outside of Zhou. Goes for the move on Perez and gets it done by the looks of it. We're going to follow through here.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
There goes George up the inside into one. I'm leaving the space. We managed to stay in front, and we're now going to latch onto Perez and Zhou. Oh, back and snapping on us there. DRS is going to be a massive factor now in this race. Seems like we've got very good straight line speed as well, which is encouraging. Let's try and follow Zhou. He seems to be a decent car to follow in terms of making progress. And Perez, dare I say, has a car issue because he's sliding all over the place. Or hasn't stopped, or something's wrong. Either way, Checo's in trouble. Here we go, Checo struggling massively. Who would have thought this a couple of races ago? You know, with the patch. We're going to get past the Red Bull. Right on the outside, I'm going to try it. And we make it work. Perez definitely in trouble. As we move up into P9, let's try and stick with Zhou here and not lose the DRS.
Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed.
Oh, this is massive. We can go for the soft tyre now. We are within range, and if we box, we can probably rejoin in P11.
Okay, overtake the safety car. You may overtake the safety.
Oh my god, this could be huge. Fresh soft tyres to go, 10 laps, and we're probably going to rejoin behind Perez. That is mental. Right, crucial phase. Until the race leader catches the safety car, everyone is going to be under Delta. So we're going to get that benefit of basically a VSC until the race leader catches the safety car. We're going to box now though, and use up this half a second as we lose DRS. Not ideal.
Return the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period.
I don't need to Elvis, mate. We're in the pits. Anyway, soft tyres ready. It looks like Perez is in as well, by the way. So this is going to be P10 for us. I wonder if Checo started on the hard tyre and didn't actually stop at any point. That might explain. He must be running on really bad tyres. Either way, it's going to be close here to see if we rejoin in P10 or not. It's a good stop. It's 2.5. The leaders have now caught up to the safety car now though, so everyone's running at race speed. So yeah, Schumacher Albon will pass us. I think we might be out ahead of Magnussen here though.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
It's going to be close, but I think we'll make it. Yes, we will. Oh boy. Right. Let's take it easy on these tyres. Let's not take too much out of them. But now we've got a fresh soft tyre on in P12 in this race. Right, here we go. Last bit of tyre warm up as we get ready for the restart. I've saved all my tyre warm up right to the very end. 2 laps without DRS, which is good because we don't have DRS available to us. Oh no, it's actually come back now. That's good. So we ain't gonna worry about that anymore. Bit of a bonus. Anyway, let's get back on the way and let's send it. We're gonna have a massive tyre advantage for the first couple laps. It's probably gonna level out by the end of the race. I think we might struggle on tyre wear, but for now, let's try and take full advantage of it. And let's see if we can make some progress here. Albon's first up on the list. We use that tyre grip to get the run straight away as we go up the inside. Oh, come on. That was a totally fair move. Why did the AI do that to me? Floor damage.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
I'm going to try and push on anyway. Can't fix it, so it is what it is. Just an entire lack of IQ. I was completely alongside him. I don't know why the hell Albon's turned into me there. Anyway, P11. Up next, Schumacher, and then Russell after that. We'll see if the floor damage is going to affect us badly or not. Oh my god. What the hell was that? I had no front end through there. I'm not going for that move again. We're going to just be patient. Schumacher having oversteer out of turn 4. Let's use the battery and let's go for the move. Show some aggression. I can't believe it. I was probably my fault to be fair. But still. Why is my car getting damaged so easily? Hopefully it's raw damage.
The underbody's taking a little damage, just watch out for it. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
We can manage for now. Hopefully we don't have any more damage on the floor because my god, it's getting a bit bonkers now. This race is getting a bit dirty. Russell next though. DRS enabled on the next lap. We're flying. The pace is still okay even on, you know, with the floor damage. It's looking okay. To be fair, this damage from Schumacher is not the floor, it's the barge board, which is different. I haven't really had barge board damage before. Getting close to Russell here though. He's got DRS on Lando, but we're going to try and go for the move anyway. Up the inside. This time, keeping it nice and tight, nice and clean. And we're through up into P9. Up next, Lando Norris. Let's get after it. Yellow flag behind.
Okay, clear.
Possibly another retirement. Lucas is no doubt of the race as we run wide. That's going to be a second warning now, so we're on the limit, man. We've got floor damage, barge ball damage, 2 warnings, and we've got our gearbox on 70%. So we're pushing the limits here a little bit. Anyway, let's keep pushing on here. Right, let's try and get Norris here. He doesn't have DRS on Joe, so we might be able to get the job done here. I can already feel the tyres are starting to just go a little bit, and the hard tyres holding on. A bit far back to be fair. Not really close enough to pass him on this lap, but I might still look for the move somewhere. Tyre temps are holding on for now as well, which is a positive. As Lando has a moment, that might be the invitation we need. Right on the outside of the final chicane. There we go. One mistake and we've taken it.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Right, let's see how we get on. P8 for now. I think this is the best we're going to do this race. Now it's going to be about surviving for the remaining 4 laps of this race.
Okay, some information on Norris. They've got an issue with their car, they're going to be slow.
Oh my god, that is a crucial bit of luck going our way at this crucial phase. I was just looking at my tyres and I'm thinking we might not make it. It's going to be close.
That's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
And I was trying to recharge some battery, but now that pressure is going to come off a little bit with Lando having issues. So hopefully he can battle with Russell and just, you know, drop a couple of seconds and just help me breathe a little. We've got 3 laps to go and I'm chewing my tyres about 5% a lap. So we're going to dip into the 75s, I think, this race. So this is not over yet. This is going to go down to the wire. This is going to be really close. 2 full laps and we're on 69 left front. Albon now getting involved with the Russell and Norris battle. I'm keeping Norris just within my DRS so that no one can get past him, but it's not going to last much longer now. My front left is starting to really open up. I can feel the understeer. The other 3 tires feel fine, but the front left is saying enough. Even the front right doesn't feel as bad, even though it's only 1% less. Luckily we've got some recharge on the battery and I'll deploy everything in the second half of this lap and the next one. Right, Albon's going to pass Lando here, or Russell. Who is it going to be? Looks like they're all battling right now, so that's going to take the pressure off. My front left is at puncture territory. We're at 80%. I mean 75 is officially puncture territory, but we are gambling on this now, and we're going to have to take it very easy on the front left and take a bit out of it and take a risk and hope we've got enough to hold on. This is where it's going to really hurt. We're going to have to take it easy, even the front right as well. We're in completely unknown territory at the moment. Let's use the rest of our battery. Let's try and stay in front. We're not out of the woods yet, 1 sector to go. Stowe's going to really hurt. Really hurt. Albon makes the move, but he runs wide, and that might just help as we need to nurse this home. Oh my god. Somehow we've got points. Yes.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone, a memorable race and an impressive victory. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
What a lovely day in the office. 110 AI for qualifying and the race. No changes, and we still bag points with floor damage, barge ball damage. We lost our DRS at one point in that race. We were at the back of the grid after getting wing damage. We had it all this race. 2 safety cars, 2 track limit warnings, 83% tyres, literally everything, and I'm very happy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, as that's what really helps me out, guys, if you enjoy the content. But yeah, here is your final order. So Leclerc wins in Silverstone, Verstappen second, only 2 tenths behind. Ricciardo back on the podium ahead of Hamilton, Sainz and Zhou Guanyu. Then we have Esteban Ocon P7, with us finishing in P8 in the points once again, ahead of Albon and Lando Norris. Missing out on the points, Magnussen, Russell, Alonso, Paul Chair, Aitken, Gasly, Latifi, Perez, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. So, standings wise, after that race, we're still P7. We're 3 points behind Fernando, we're closing in. Meanwhile, Ocon gains a couple back on us and he's 2 points behind us. Also, Zhou Guanyu is 3 points behind us, and I think he will eventually overtake us. For now though, we're looking good, and Leclerc takes a 10-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors, Ferrari moved back on top and level on points with Mercedes, as those two duke it out. In the meantime, we're still 7th, and we extend our lead over AlphaTauri, and the gap is now 22 points, and we're only 12 behind Haas. So that is going to be our next step. I think we can definitely fight for 6th in the Constructors, but we need a little bit more from Teo Porcher. Either way, let's move into big car upgrades. Now 7 days until the next race. We're going to go ahead and take care of upgrades. We've got one on the way before Austria, the tertiary wing flaps, which is good. We'll add some sim training for Porcher to keep him fast and sharp. Now though, let's go for the upgrades. We've got 2,500 points to spend, so let's have a look and see what options we have. Now, we don't really have any discounts on the aero. I was struggling with understeer, and obviously the wing flaps are going to help that. We should do some more, to be fair, if you consider, you know, it's pretty unbalanced where we've upgraded so far. Nonetheless, on the chassis, I think it's time, and I'm going to go for the heat dispersing wheel rims. The reason being is because tyre wear could be a key strategy advantage for us, and you just saw we struggled on those softs, so I want to make sure we put those struggles behind us. And we are the worst team in the chassis department, so that will help us out quite a bit. Unless we have any cheap upgrades to go for, we're going to probably sit on those points now and wait for future upgrades. So yeah, that's fine. We're going to save those points, and we should be able to bring in some big upgrade packages. For now though, let's see if the wing flaps arrive on the 7th. Happy days, they've arrived successfully, which means that is another major upgrade on our car. And yeah, the next race is Austria, guys, and that is a sprint race weekend, I believe. So hopefully look forward to it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this race. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the content. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah, I'm now going to go rest my voice after that race. So cheers, guys, and I'll see you next time.